Imagine flipping through a family photo album and not recognizing the faces of your loved ones. That's the heartbreaking reality of dementia, a condition affecting over 55 million people worldwide. Someone in the world develops dementia every 3 seconds. But here's the surprising truth. Experts say around 40% of dementia cases could be prevented or delayed through simple lifestyle changes. In this video, we'll reveal 10 early warning signs of dementia you should never ignore, and 10 science-backed ways to keep your brain sharp and resilient. Stick around, because what you learn today could literally change the course of your life or someone you love. Hi there! If you're new to our channel, welcome. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us reach more people with important health information, and you'll get updates whenever we post new content. All right, let's get started on understanding dementia and how you can protect your brain. First, what exactly is dementia? Dementia isn't a single disease. It's an umbrella term for a set of symptoms caused by disorders affecting the brain. It involves decline in memory, thinking, and other cognitive abilities severe enough to interfere with daily life. Alzheimer's disease is the most common cause of dementia, accounting for 60 to 70% of cases. Other forms include vascular dementia, often after strokes, Lewy body dementia, frontotemporal dementia, and more. Different types of dementia can have different symptoms, but all share that progressive brain cell damage is happening over time. It's important to know that dementia is not the same as normal aging. Some memory slowdown can happen with age, but dementia is far beyond that. Many people live into their 90s with sharp minds. Dementia is caused by illnesses, not just getting older. What's happening in the brain when someone has dementia? In Alzheimer's, abnormal proteins called amyloid plaques and tau tangles build up in the brain. These plaques and tangles damage and kill nerve cells, starting in memory centers and spreading further. In vascular dementia, little strokes or blood vessel damage mean parts of the brain don't get enough blood and oxygen. Other dementia like Lewy body involve different proteins or affect different brain regions. But the end result is similar. Brain cells cannot function properly. The symptoms a person experiences depend on which brain areas are affected. For example, if memory centers are hit, memory fails. If the area controlling judgment is hit, decision-making falters. Age is the biggest risk factor for dementia. The older you get, the higher the risk. About 1/3 of people over 85 have some form of dementia, but dementia is not inevitable. Many reach old age without it. And that's why recognizing warning signs early and living a brain-healthy lifestyle are so important. Now let's talk about those early warning signs, the subtle clues that something's not right with brain function. Catching these signs early can make a big difference, so keep an eye out for the following. One of the most common early signs is memory loss, especially forgetting recently learned information or important dates and events. They might ask the same questions repeatedly or rely increasingly on memory aids and notes. Now, it's normal to occasionally forget a name or why you walked into a room. We all do that, but forgetting important things and not remembering them later is not normal. Some people start having trouble making plans, following instructions, or dealing with numbers. Tasks that used to be easy, like following a familiar recipe or keeping track of monthly bills, become overwhelming and error-prone. This goes beyond just occasional difficulty. It's a consistent pattern of trouble with sequences and problem-solving. Another red flag is when a person struggles with tasks they've done hundreds of times before. They might get lost driving to a familiar location, have trouble remembering the rules of a favorite game, or forget how to use a common appliance. When our brain's executive function declines, even routine activities can turn into baffling puzzles. People with early dementia often lose track of dates, seasons, and the passage of time. They may forget where they are or how they got there, or get disoriented even in a familiar place. This can be dangerous. For example, someone might wander off or not know how to return home from a routine walk. Dementia can affect vision and depth perception in ways beyond typical eye problems. Someone might have difficulty reading, judging distances, or distinguishing contrast, which can make things like driving very hard. For example, they might perceive patterns on the floor as holes, or not recognize their own reflection in a mirror, thinking it's another person. We all struggle to find the right word sometimes, but dementia can cause serious language difficulties. A person might forget simple words, call things by the wrong name, like calling a watch a hand clock, or have trouble following or joining a conversation. They may stop in the middle of a sentence and not know how to continue, or repeat themselves a lot. Everyone misplaces their keys occasionally, but we usually can retrace our steps and find them. In dementia, a person might put objects in really unusual places, like placing a wallet in the fridge and then be unable to find them. Worse, they might accuse others of stealing because they truly don't remember hiding the item themselves. This behavior can become more frequent over time. Dementia can impair judgment and decision-making. We might see uncharacteristic poor choices being made. For example, a person might fall for telemarketing scams, give away large sums of money, or pay less attention to personal grooming and cleanliness. This is more than the occasional slip-up. It's a pattern of impaired judgment that is out of character for that person's past behavior. Someone who was once social and active may start pulling away from hobbies, social events, or work projects they used to love. They might become passive, not show up to gatherings, or stop doing their favorite pastime because they struggle to follow what's happening or feel embarrassed about the changes they're experiencing. If you notice a loved one retreating from social interaction, gently check in on them. They could be having a hard time and withdrawing as a result. Lastly, dementia often brings about mood swings or personality changes. You might see someone become confused, suspicious, depressed, fearful, or anxious. They could get easily upset in places that are out of their comfort zone. A once outgoing person might become withdrawn and moody, or a generally cautious person might start acting impulsively. These 10 signs don't all happen at once, and dementia affects everyone differently. One person might show memory loss and judgment issues first, while another might have language problems as the first symptom. Just because you occasionally misplace your phone or forget a name doesn't mean you're doomed. We all have moments of forgetfulness. The key is frequency and progression. If you notice several of these warning signs happening often or getting worse, it's time to take them seriously. Don't ignore these signs. Talk to a doctor if you spot them in yourself or someone you care about. Early evaluation can uncover if it is dementia or maybe something else that's treatable. Believe it or not, some conditions can mimic dementia symptoms, like vitamin B12 deficiency, thyroid problems, sleep apnea, or even medication side effects, and those can be treated. So getting a thorough checkup is crucial. Doctors can do memory tests, physical exams, maybe brain scans or lab tests to figure out what's going on. And if it is dementia, early diagnosis gives you a head start on managing it and planning for the future. Now, for the good news, there's a lot you can do starting today that may lower your risk of ever developing dementia. While there's no guaranteed prevention, since dementia has many factors, research suggests up to 40 to 45% of cases could be prevented or delayed by addressing certain lifestyle factors. Here are 10 science-backed ways to keep your brain healthy and reduce your risk. One of the best things you can do for your brain is to move your body. Regular exercise, even just walking, improves blood flow to the brain and can encourage new brain cell growth. It's like fertilizer for your brain. In fact, even a little exercise helps. A recent study found that as little as 35 minutes of brisk activity a week was linked to a 41% lower risk of dementia in older adults. And those who did more, like 150 minutes a week, cut their risk by almost 60 to 70%. Huge! Exercise helps control blood pressure, weight, and stress, all of which protect your brain. So aim to be active most days. You don't have to run marathons. Brisk walking, dancing, swimming, gardening, even vigorous housework. Anything that gets your heart pumping helps. Find something you enjoy so you'll stick with it. Your brain will thank you. You know that saying, "You are what you eat"? It applies to your brain too. Studies show that diets like the Mediterranean diet or MIND diet, rich in vegetables, fruits, especially berries, whole grains, fish, and healthy fats like olive oil, are linked to lower risk of cognitive decline. One large study found people who followed a Mediterranean-style diet had about a 23% lower risk of developing dementia compared to those who ate a less healthy diet. Why is diet so important? A balanced diet helps protect your heart and blood vessels, which in turn protects your brain. It also provides antioxidants and nutrients that might shield brain cells from damage. Some brain-boosting foods to include leafy greens like spinach and kale, berries, fatty fish like salmon, rich in omega-3, nuts like walnuts, olive oil, and whole grains. At the same time, try to cut back on sugary snacks, refined carbs, and excessive salt. These can raise risks for diabetes and high blood pressure that harm the brain. Eating healthy doesn't mean bland food. Explore flavorful recipes with herbs and spices. Your brain and your taste buds can both be happy. Your brain is like a muscle. You use it or lose it. Challenging your mind with mental exercises can build what scientists call cognitive reserve, basically a resilience that helps your brain cope longer even if physical changes of dementia start. How do you build this? Keep learning and stay curious. Read books, do crossword or Sudoku puzzles, learn a new language or musical instrument, play strategy games or pick up new hobbies. Even engaging discussions or trying to memorize phone numbers can be a workout for your brain. The key is to challenge yourself regularly with something a bit hard but enjoyable. It's never too late to learn something new. People in their 70s and 80s are learning how to use smartphones, painting, or even taking college courses. So sign up for that class, join a book club, or start a DIY project. New neurons might just sprout as you do. Humans are social creatures and our brains thrive on interaction. Studies have found that social isolation and loneliness can increase dementia risk, while staying socially active can help maintain brain function. Talking with others, engaging in community activities, or even having a regular coffee date with a friend can provide stimulation, emotional support, and a sense of connection that protects your brain. If you live alone or your social circle is small, consider joining clubs, volunteer groups, or online communities to meet people. It can be anything: a gardening club, a church group, a walking group, whatever gets you interacting. Also, take care of your hearing and vision. Why is that under social connection? Because if you can't hear or see well, you're more likely to withdraw socially. Unaddressed hearing loss in midlife is actually one of the top risk factors for dementia. Using hearing aids if you need them can significantly lower dementia risk by keeping you engaged with the world. Same goes for vision. Get those cataracts fixed or updated glasses so you don't isolate yourself. Stay connected, stay engaged. Your brain craves company and conversation. What's good for your mind is good for your brain. Chronic stress and untreated depression can take a toll on memory and thinking over time. High stress levels flood your body with cortisol, a stress hormone, which over years can harm the brain's memory centers. Depression, especially in midlife or late life, has been linked to higher dementia risk too, so take care of your mental well-being. Practice stress reduction techniques, meditation, yoga, breathing exercises, or even daily walks in nature can help calm the mind. Stay socially connected, as we mentioned, to combat loneliness. Engage in activities that bring you joy and relaxation, whether it's listening to music, playing with a pet, or gardening. If you're struggling with anxiety or depression, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Counseling or medication may improve your mood and could indirectly protect your cognitive health in the long run. A happier mind can lead to a healthier brain. Never underestimate the power of a good night's sleep. Think of sleep as the brain's cleaning time. During deep sleep, your brain actually clears out waste products, including amyloid beta, the sticky protein that forms Alzheimer's plaques. One study showed that mice cleared beta amyloid twice as quickly when they were asleep versus awake. In humans, sleep deprivation has been linked to higher levels of these Alzheimer's proteins. Beyond amyloid, lack of sleep also means poor concentration and can raise risk of hypertension and diabetes, which again harm the brain. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep per night. Keep a regular sleep schedule. Make sure your bedroom is dark and quiet, and avoid heavy meals, alcohol, or screen time right before bed. If you have sleep apnea or chronic insomnia, get it treated. Your brain needs that deep, restorative sleep. It's one of the cheapest and most pleasant investments in your long-term brain health. Your brain depends on a healthy heart and blood vessels. In fact, what's good for your heart is good for your brain. You'll hear doctors say this a lot. Disclaimer: this video is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended to replace professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your doctor or a qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Never disregard professional advice or delay seeking it because of something you have seen or heard in this video.